Okay, we're live again. So hello everyone, and welcome to the Drivers World Championship Hangout. We're here with a load of important people that you should all know by now. But from the beginning, we're here with Colin Chin, who is the Shalika Marathon Asia Technical Director, Gilles Vanier, who is the Shalika Marathon Europe Technical Director. Then a new face to you all, Oliver Hitchcock, who is the Drivers World Championship Technical Director, and Sarah Engel, who is the Student Communications Manager now for all regions of Shalika Marathon. They are really key people in the competition, so I hope you can all get your questions ready and ask us your question. Whoever is diving in now, we're going to do this as we run every single hangout. So first, Gilles and Oliver are going to take you through some really important slides to tell you more about Shalika Marathon Europe and the format of the competition in London. And then Oliver will take you through some important details about the GWC. And then we're finally going to open up for questions. I can see a lot of people joined us already, so thanks everybody for being quite punctual. Let me just explain to you again how we're going to run this, and then we're going to wait just a couple more minutes for everybody else to join. I haven't introduced myself yet, so I step back. Renata, I work in the Shalika Marathon team here in London. And today we have some important guests, or our VIPs, that are going to take you through some important slides about the Drivers World Championship. And then we're going to open up for questions from all of you. Again, I can see people dialing in now, so thanks everybody who is joining us now. Let me just explain again how we're going to run this, as we've done in the previous Google Hangouts for Shalika Marathon. Gilles and Oliver are going to take you through important slides about Shalika Marathon Europe and the GWC, and then we're going to open up for questions. Just to introduce to everybody who is joining us now, who is on the line with us here today, we have Colin Chin, who is the Shalika Marathon Asia Technical Director. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
Gilles, who is the Shalika Marathon Europe Technical Director, dialing in from France. Also from France, Oliver Hitchcock, who is the GWC, or Drivers World Championship Technical Director, and then Sarah Engel, who's the Communications Manager for the GWC, dialing in today. If you have any logistics question, you can ask Sarah. Okay, we're 1 minute in now. 2, wow, just turned, and we have a few more viewers dialing in. So 1 more minute, and we'll start with the slide presentation. As always, you're more than welcome to submit your questions and any doubts you might have about the competition. You can see there's an option or a button on the top right corner of your screen. Submit your questions there. And as always, please include your name, team name, and country that you're from. Of course, we all know that you're running on the open concept category, which makes things easier for us this time. But why don't you mention your fuel type for us to know exactly how to approach your answer. Okay, we're almost ready to start. So again, just a final roundup on how we're going to run things today. Gilles and Oliver, who are going to take you through the slides. First about Shalika Marathon Europe and the competition here in London, then specifically about the GWC competition. And then we're going to open up for questions, both technical and logistical. That's why we have Sarah here. So 3 minutes in, time for us to start our presentation. Don't forget to submit your questions using the right hand corner here. You have a Q&A option. You can submit your question there. Just include your name, team name, and country. And then you must include as well what's your energy type. So please mention if you're running on gasoline, diesel, battery electric, whatever your car is. I saw somebody submitted a question, but then they gave up. Just please submit a proper question, and we'll be able to see and answer them. Now, without further ado, Oliver, it's with you.
Okay, thanks, Renata. I'll just share my screen. In fact, Gilles, would it be easier if you share the PowerPoint since you'll be presenting the first slides? Because if you talk, of course, we'll see you and not the slide pack.
You can share the screen.
Yeah, sorry, Gilles, why don't you start with us first?
I have not the presentation in my screen, in my computer, not yet.
Okay, so while Gilles is getting the presentation ready to share, just a warm welcome to more people who have dialed in now. I saw the numbers popping up. So hello everyone who just joined. So Gilles Panier, who's the Shalico Marathon Europe Technical Director, is going to take you through some slides explaining how Shalico Marathon Europe is going to run here in London. And then Oliver will take you through the slides about the GWC. Thanks everybody who's joining. Again, if you want to submit your questions, there's an option here on the right corner of your screen. It's a Q&A, and then you submit your question. Just again include your name, team name, and country, and then mention your energy type. That means if you're running on gasoline, diesel, better electric, ethanol, whatever it is, and then we're able to refer to your question in more detail. I see we've lost our main speaker now, so I hope he's back sometime soon, but I don't know.
Come back. Yeah, come back, Gilles.
Where are you? And guys, if you do have any questions, why don't you start submitting them so that we can select the questions we're going to answer. As always, we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. So please submit as you can. Oh, Gilles, we have a presentation here. Sarah was kind enough to put that on her screen. So we start then?
Could you put in a main screen?
Yes, so I'm going to share Sarah's screen, and then you can take people over, just talk through the slides. She will be able to manage the presentation for you.
Okay. Okay, first slide, please.
Yeah, but we can't see.
Next one. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Shalico Marathon Europe, as you are selected for the Drivers World Championship, the main thing for you is first to compete in the Shalico Marathon Europe. As you know, as you read the rules, I hope, you have to participate in Shalico Europe as all other teams from Asia, from Americas, but the 200 teams from Europe also. Some main difference in regard of Asia event is the number of teams, and we start really early in regard of other events. The access for the paddock for all competitors is open on the Monday. The Shalico is open during the full week, from Monday to Sunday. It makes a difference for you, as in general in Manila, in Asia, your events start on, you have access around Wednesday or Thursday. For Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we start the competition really early in Europe in regard of the number of teams. Monday is paddock access for all teams. Tuesday, paddock access for, yes, just team arriving. Technical inspection start already on Tuesday afternoon. Technical inspection is on Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, and Thursday all the day. It's the main things you have to know. Then it will be closed on Thursday, end of the day. Last time to pass your vehicle. You have to pass again your vehicle in technical inspection in Shalico Europe. The practice start on Wednesday afternoon. Thursday it will be dedicated slot for prototype and urban concept. It's not yet fixed, but you will be informed each morning, as we have the same principle, morning briefing for all competitors. The next slide, yes, please. The competition will be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's always by category. We have a slot like strictly like in Asia. The competition starts on Friday morning. We have the opening ceremony mid of day, and then competition again. End of competition for urban concept will be on Saturday, mid of afternoon probably. It will be the last minute for you. Then we start your schedule start about really strictly DWC. Just remember, start tech inspection on Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday. This is the limit. The practice start on Wednesday and Thursday. The competition really open for Friday morning, and it's Friday, Saturday for you. For urban concept teams, and the last run for prototype will be on Sunday morning. Then everything happen about the DWC on track. Next slide, please. Some reminder: in London, we expect 220 teams in total. Asia is around 120. It's more or less double. You have to consider always a long queue in technical inspection, in start-finish area. It's a queue everywhere. You have to be ready in time. Otherwise, you have no option for tech inspection or track access. Just be ready as soon as you arrive, you have to go on your paddock, open your box, prepare the vehicle, and be ready as soon as possible. Tech inspection open on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, but we can expect already 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning a long queue. Is why if you won't be on time, you have to be early. It's the same for the race. It's always a long queue. Main difference is only 4 attempts during the Sheleco Europe. Asia is 5, America is 6 or 7, but in Europe you have only 4 attempts max to compete. Next slide, please. Yes. Next one. The track of London is something totally different for you. Manila is a rectangle, it's flat. London have a lot of turns, a lot of huge topography, descent or ramp. This makes a huge difference for you in preparation of your vehicle. Track length, yes, 2,240 meters, and the competition is 8 laps in total. 17.9 kilometers in total distance in 43 minutes max. If you just have a look like this, it's a huge difference. It's 8 kilometers more than in Manila. It makes a huge difference for the competition, for the conception, and for the quality of the car. Next slide, please. You will find in Sheleco Marathon website, in Facebook too, the topography of the track. You will have the description. It's where you can find the ramp, all the detail. Each number you can see in this map is described point by point in a graph. You have distance, elevation. It's what you need to prepare your vehicle. Next, please. Just make sure if you have any question, ask and send the question to Sarah in the Marathon Sheleco email. Not check, as you can see in Facebook, all comments for students or the official information are always from Sarah. Yes, the main are on Facebook and Sheleco Marathon. Next one. Just about the track and to compare with Manila, it's really totally different challenge for you. The track is really more difficult to manage. You will face severe descent, climbs, and turns. Steering is the main one of the main topic to take care. Brake efficiency, center of gravity, visibility, stability of the vehicle, and powertrain need to probably to change in regard of the track of Manila. Transmission is also critical, as in the ramp we have a 5% ramp in the track. This made also difference for you if we compare to Manila. Next one. I think now it's for Oliver.
Okay. I don't want to go into too many details to give you all as much time as possible to ask lots of questions. So on this slide, I've put together some of the main points, which Gilles has mentioned some of these already. The main points to remember coming to London. One of the very first ones is that you will have to be ready to work on your car. Hopefully your car will be ready as soon as you arrive to pass technical inspection by the Thursday, 31st of June. It's really important. The inspection garage will close, again, compared to the Asia competition, quite early. Thursday evening, that's it. No more technical inspections. So you really will have just the Wednesday and the Thursday to complete your technical inspection. Then, once you've passed your technical inspection, you must finish 2 valid attempts to finish your qualification for the Drivers' World Championship. As Gilles just pointed out, the track is longer. We've got the climbs and the descents. There's a lot more. It's a lot more technical compared to the Asian track, a lot longer, 43 minutes total. And you will only have 2 days to finish those 2 valid attempts. Now, without those valid attempts, you won't qualify for your place on the starting grid in the Drivers' World Championship. So it's very, very important that you get your technical inspection finished and those attempts done as soon as possible. Now, as Gilles said, we have 220 teams on site. That's a lot of people. So we won't have the opportunity to supply you with tools or batteries, etc. Please be as prepared as possible when you arrive. Again, the conformity with the rules, so the Chapter 1 rules, which govern all of the events, the Chapter 2 rules for the Shell Eco Marathon Europe, and of course the Chapter 3 rules for the Drivers' World Championship. Your car must, and team, must conform to all 3 chapters of the rules. We will also be testing your brakes. Some of you may have noticed us doing this in Asia as a test. Your car must be capable of stopping from 50 kilometers an hour to 0 in 20 meters or less. So testing your brakes and being confident in your brakes is essential. Can we go to the next slide and the one after? Okay, just as a reminder, I won't go into too much detail again here. I'm sure you've all read the rules already. We will have 24 teams on site competing in 3 heats, 1 per energy class, so hydrogen, battery electric, and internal combustion. And then we will choose the 2 best teams from each of those heats, plus 2 runners-up, and they will go on to the final on the Sunday afternoon after the 3 heats. And the next one. Okay, so as I said, really important, you must finish 2 valid attempts during the Shell Eco Marathon Europe Mileage Challenge. The driver who drives one of those 2 attempts must drive during the Drivers' World Championship. We cannot accept a driver without experience because of the higher speed. And then everything will happen in a 3-hour session on the Sunday afternoon, a little bit longer than 2 hours now, for those three heats and the final. Okay. Yes, we will. As you all know, we will calculate your position on the starting grid for the Drivers' World Championship based on the results that you managed to get during your valid attempts at the Shell Eco Marathon Europe. We will give you a little. We will give you 30% extra energy, also to allow you to go a little bit faster. Maximum speed is still 50 kilometers an hour, but yes, 30% extra energy, 30% more than your Europe consumption. during your best attempt, we will give you yes, that extra percentage to allow you to go faster. Gilles, do you want to do this one?
Yes, it's a simple and a classic reminder. You already competed in Asia. Yes, your vehicle have to respect the rules, Chapter 1. Just make sure everything is correct. If you have made some change or update, read the rules, and read the rules. Compare any article with your vehicle, what you do on your vehicle. Something you need to know is also Chapter 2 for Europe. It's strictly the same principle. Read the rules, and read the rules. And the new version is Chapter 3 DWC. It's also something you have to read and know everything, each detail on it. If you have any question about Shell-Eco Europe, detail about arrival, or I don't know what, anything you have, any questions, send an email to Sarah through the address in the bottom of this page. Any question about Europe, DWC, or anything, and just please be as clear as possible. If you need, if it's question about your vehicle, add the drawing or any clear explanation of what you want, what you expect to do to receive a clear answer. Okay. I think we can say all together. Good luck to to all teams. Be prepared and remember the main things in Europe is the timing. Be ready in time, and it's not. You have no option. You have to pass the tech inspection before the third day. And as we already said, it's a long queue everywhere. You have to be ready early in the morning, and just be sure you pass tech inspections, and you have 2 valid run on track. You are one team in the middle of the other team. You are not an exceptional team from Asia, or yeah. You are in Shell-Eco Europe. No sound, Renata.
Can't hear you, Renata.
Now you can. I was just waiting. Okay, thanks for the slides. As we said, there's a lot of information there, but the team should really be familiar with those by now. So I hope most of you have done your pre-reading, as we would have expected, particularly on Chapter 1 of the rules. All of the teams should have read the Chapter 1 before going to Shell-Eco Marathon Asia. I hope we just got a refresh there. Again, now it's time for us to open up for questions. So if you do have any questions, submit them using that option on the right top corner of your screen. Include your name, team name, and country, and then just let us know what's your energy type. So let's start with some important questions that we actually got before for you, so you can sort of get your creativity ready and maybe try to have some time to understand what the guys just mentioned to you. But let's go with some questions. I think there's an important one. So when can the Asian team start going through technical inspection? G?
Technical inspection is open on Tuesdays. They have no excuse or no particular position in the queue. They will take the queue and start inspection from Tuesday midday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They have to pass before Thursday, end of the day.
Thanks, G. And now just another one is, can the Asian teams compete in the Drivers' World Championship races on Sunday, without getting a valid run or passing technical inspection?
No, they can't, I'm afraid. It's very important that they get 2 valid runs for the mileage challenge. The main reason behind that, there are 2 main reasons. One is safety. The teams must be familiar with the course for their drivers. The other reason is that we need the results from the mileage challenge to calculate the positions of the teams on the starting grid. It's very important. Without those 2 valid runs, we can't let them race in the Drivers' World Championship.
And the only place where we can have a comparison is on the same track at the same time. It's why we ask to compete in Shell Europe in London track.
Thanks, both. Now, maybe a question, as you mentioned, about the track. What is the most challenging feature, I guess, about the track in London, especially comparing to the track in Manila? G?
The main difference is Manila is flat. London have a huge descent and a huge ramp, 5% ramp. It's a very critical and very different in terms of powertrain in the car and also stability of the car.
And it's a much more complex course all round compared to Manila.
Yes, the distance very different.
Well, particularly when you have 200 teams to get on that track and not 100, so it's going to get really busy for the teams. Maybe now one question specifically more related to logistics, I guess, and Tara may help the teams. So when can the teams arrive on site, and do the paddocks stay open overnight for them to work on their cars?
Teams can arrive from Monday at 11 a.m. That's when I will open registration. So the team manager needs to come and see me at registration, and I will give the team manager the badges, the vehicle stickers, everything you need to get started. From then on, you will have access to your paddock and your vehicle, where you will begin to start working. And what was the second question?
The paddock is open every day from 6 in the morning to 11 in the evening.
Right, so paddock closes at 11 p.m. and will open at 6 a.m. again the next morning. So it's not open all night.
Thanks, both. Let me get another question here. This is specifically about the GWC. So maybe this one for Oliver a little bit more. How do you calculate the order of teams on the starting grid of each of the heats for the GWC?
That's a good question. We will take the results from the Shell Eco Marathon Europe Mileage Challenge, and we will order the teams on the starting grid based on the best results in the Mileage Challenge. So the teams that win their category, for example, internal combustion during the Mileage Challenge, will start first on the grid. So you really must be the best team to be out in front on the grid. And the last person, of course, will have the lowest consumption, the highest consumption results during the Mileage Challenge. And for the final, it's based on the times during the heats. So we will take the best times from each of the engine classes, internal combustion, hydrogen and battery electric, plus the 2 fastest runners-up from all 3 heats.
Thanks, Oliver. And now an important question, actually, about logistics, because, of course, most of the teams that compete in Shell Eco Marathon Europe, they stay on the campsite. But for the teams that are coming from Asia and the gas teams from the Americas competition is a little bit different. So, Sarah, can you let us know where the teams stay and how are they going from the airport to the venue to compete?
So our teams coming from Asia for the Drivers' World Championship will be staying at Marlin Apartment Hotels in London Bridge in London. There will be a shuttle bus to pick you up from the airport and bring you to your hotel first, where you will be able to check in and get settled. And then you will also have shuttle buses bringing you back and forth between Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park and your hotel.
Thanks, Sarah. And another question is, will the vehicles be in our paddocks when we arrive?
Yes. Agility are managing as you know, the transport for your vehicles. So make sure you're in contact with Agility and you've already managed and sorted the transport to London. For those of you that have battery electric vehicles, make sure you prepare to buy batteries on site in case you can't bring them through customs. So the vehicles will be delivered to your paddock and they will be there when you arrive.
Thanks, Sarah. And another important question, in case you don't come as prepared as we would have thought. As we mentioned, as the competition is so tight and the schedule is so busy, we want everybody to come as prepared as you can. But if you're running on battery electric and you come here and then your battery is not working or you need an accessory battery, where can you find a new battery? Oliver?
I don't know. we are working that out at the moment.
But we'll provide
just one comment about this to compare to Manila. When you are in Manila, if you go to the e-shop or you have a place dedicated, if you need something, you go and you ask someone to buy what you need in Manila. In London, nothing like this happens. If you need something, you go in London, you find the place. It's the same for all the team in Europe. We don't make any exception for teams from Asia or Americas. If you have, you need tools, battery, I don't know, anything you need, you have to find yourself in London.
Thank you. And then I got another question here, so let me just ask that one. Will the dynamic brake testing be part of technical inspection in London?
It won't be part of the technical inspection that you go through normally for the mileage challenge, but it will be part of the essential technical inspection that we will go through on the Sunday morning for the Drivers' World Challenge. We will be contacting our visiting teams from Asia and Americas to perform the dynamic braking test during several sessions during the week. So we will contact you, and that is essential for the Drivers' World Championship for safety.
Thanks, Oliver. Let me just get another one here. How do we know who is the winner of the DWC?
That's a good question. It's the team that crosses the line first. It's very simple. The 8 cars in each heat will start together. They will finish 3 laps of the 2.25 kilometers, and it's the first team to cross the line with, of course, some fuel remaining, hopefully, first that wins. And then the final, it's the same thing. The 8 teams will all start together, and it's the first team that crosses the line will be announced as the Drivers' World Champion.
Thanks, Oliver. And now an interesting question, actually, just to see how diverse the competition will be. So, of course, Sarah, maybe you can tell the teams how many teams are coming from each region, and so what's the competition going to be like on the Sunday?
From Asia, we have 3 teams from Indonesia, 1 team from the Philippines, and 1 team from Singapore participating with their vehicle. And we have also invited 1 team from Malaysia who is coming without their vehicle, but who is coming to learn and to hopefully, learn more and be able to come next year. And then from the Americas, we have 5 teams coming from the US and 1 team coming from Canada. Same thing, one of the American teams is not coming with their vehicle. They're also coming to learn and talk with other teams about their experience and find out more for 2017.
Thanks, both. Let me just fix another question here. And this is important as well. How many times can the teams go on track? I know this is quite different than it was in Manila, but how many attempts or how many chances will the teams have of hitting the track in London?
During the Shelico Europe for the competition, you have only 4 runs. And again, a run when you 4 attempts is when you start and you cross the starting line. It's always more critical and more challenging, but yeah, no option, no extra run for any teams. It's only 4 in 2 days.
Plus the practice.
Thanks, Gilles. So just so that for the teams to understand, of course, they have gone through Chalico Marathon Asia already. So do they have to go through the same scrutiny in the technical inspection before hitting the track in London?
Good question.
Yes, it's strictly the same principle, and you will see again same technical core team as Colin, I, Oliver, all not the same technical team, but the same technical core team to take decision.
Thanks, Gilles. Let me just get one more question here. We're starting to run out of time, so if you haven't submitted your question, you have another 5 to 10 minutes. Well, 5 minutes, and then we have to close it. So if you do need to submit your question, please submit them now. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to answer it. But the question is, do teams need to get valid results in order to compete in the DWC, or can they simply just go on the track?
So teams must finish 2 valid attempts during the Chalico Marathon in Europe in order to qualify for the Drivers' World Championship. So that's the 17.9 kilometers in 43 minutes. Within that time, they have to do that twice in order to qualify.
Thanks,
Oliver, maybe you also need to add that they must do that within 30% of their regional result.
Yes, well said, Colin. That's a good point. So the results that you get in Europe... I'm sorry, Colin, could you say that again?
Results you get in Europe must be within 30% of the regional results, say in Asia.
Correct, yes. So teams, when we look at your results in London, your result must be 70% or more of the equivalent result for distance in the Asian event, yes.
Thanks both. And now an important question, actually. How many of our team members will have access to the paddocks and to the competition?
So as you know, we've invited 8 team members per team to participate. This means 8 people will receive a participant badge, and 8 people only will have access to the paddocks from Monday until Sunday. If you bring extra people, they can come, but they can come from public opening days, which opens on Thursday morning. So they'll have normal visitor badges. They will have access to the paddocks, so they will be able to come and visit you, but only from Thursday morning until Sunday. So please make sure you keep that in mind. Only 8 team members per team will have access to the paddocks from Monday until Sunday.
Thanks, Sarah. And now just maybe a couple more questions. Let me just see. We're from Indonesia, and our English isn't that great. Who could help? Is there anybody going to be translating things here in London? Sarah?
So as you know, the official language for Chalico Marathon is English, and we do ask every single team to have at least one person on the team who speaks fluent English. There won't be any particular people there to translate for you. I know you're used to it in Asia to have a Shell focal point with you to help you out. This won't be the case in London, so make sure you're prepared and make sure you have someone there with you who speaks English.
That's a really good point. And English will be the language used in every single step of the competition, from arrival at the airport, and I'm assuming most of you will be coming through Heathrow Airport, to the shuttle when arriving at the venue, and then the most important bit, through technical inspection. So at least nominate one representative of your team to be sort of the spokesperson and to be able to communicate throughout the competition. It's going to be a great event. You're going to meet people from all over the world, but you do need to focus on your performance at the event, on going on track, on getting your great results. And we're about to close now, so we have gone through a lot of important questions. I hope your question was answered. If not, we can try to get you a written answer via email or on the Facebook group. So just maybe time for our closing notes now. I'm going to start from this, just following this line here. Colin, any tips or last-minute advice for the teams?
One thing I'd like to add is for the need of installing the transponders and the antenna onto the cars in the first few days of the event as well. So they should be able to allow us to do that, as well as preparing for tech inspection.
Thanks, Colin. So, G?
Yes, the main thing is have a look in the Shell Marathon website on Shell Marathon Europe, on Facebook Europe, where you will find all the information about the track, what is essential for you. It's very, very different than Manila.
We can't hear you, Renato.
Yeah.
I was speaking here a lot and I forgot that I was on mute.
You could see your lips moving.
Oliver, any recommendations or tips for the team?
Wow, I'm really enthusiastic. Can't wait to see you all. Please read all the rules, especially chapters 2 and 3. Please bear in mind that you must complete those 2 valid attempts in Europe, and it is a longer, more technical track than in Asia. And yes, and I think we'll all have a lot of fun. So I look forward to seeing you all soon. Still can't hear you, Renato.
No sound.
Every time. Sarah, maybe you can share your final notes to the teams now. I know you've been in touch with them for a while now.
Yeah, I have a couple things. So I know you do read the rules, of course. You also need to read the participant handbook, where you'll find more logistics information, you'll find the schedule, you'll find information about the paddocks, about the size of the paddocks, about what's going to be in the paddocks, practical things like that. So please read that. It's on the important information page on shell.com. One thing I do want to stress is that the plugs in the paddocks will be 2-pin European plugs, okay? So make sure you bring adapters. And then I also wanted to say thank you all for sending your passport copies. I have everything I need now. You all sent me the terms and conditions, the deposit guarantee letter, and the copies of the passports, which is great. You've all been in contact with Jenny, who is booking your flights, so make sure, Team 601, please make sure you get back to her with your flight information. She really needs to know what airport you need to leave from, what times you want to leave, etc., so she can book the flights for you, okay? And then also, everyone, the last step is making sure you get your transport sorted, your vehicle transport, together with Adam from Agility. So please get that sorted, and then you'll be all ready, you'll be all done, nothing left to do. All you have to do is pack your suitcase and sit on the plane and come over to London.
Not that simple, I think, but there's a few steps to complete before your trip. We do have one last-minute question, and I think he tried and gave up, and now he submitted a question again. So I'll just put his question now on stage. So let's see who's going to take this one. So, dear STM team, this is from Mate Gombosi. As I know, we have to place an extra antenna for the Drivers' World Championship. What should we know about this antenna? Dimensions, where should it be placed, etc. He's from the SZ Energy team, I think from Hungary though. So whoa, we have a European team. As always, really keen and dedicated. So thanks, Mate, for your question. Oliver, maybe you can take him through what is added to the car.
Okay, thanks, Renata. Yeah, thanks for the question. So we had a great Challenger event a couple of weeks ago in Le Mans, where we did some more testing of all of this technology, including those antennae. What we will be doing is preparing a set of slides, PowerPoint slides, with the dimensions, weights, and requirements of all of this new hardware, how it's installed in the car, including photographs. And Sarah will be sharing that with all of the teams shortly, as soon as we finish preparing it. And in there you will find out exactly the sizes, weights, and how we install the antenna in the cars, what it's for, and what we do with it.
Thanks, Oliver. And now I've successfully unmuted myself, which is really good. So as final reminders, and thanks again, Mate, for your interest. I know this is not as a great timing for you. We do have another Hangout later today for the Americas team. So if anybody's watching or wants to review it again or wants to ask maybe questions that pop up during the day, there will be another session today at 5:30. Yes, 5:30 GMT. Or BST, now this British Standard Time. It's on the Shell Google Plus page, so you can just see there and join us. As final reminders, everybody said that, but read the rules, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and there is a dedicated Chapter 3, the Drivers World Championship rules. Also on the page of the DWC on Shell.com, there's a special slide pack explaining how the DWC will work. There is also, of course, the GWC or Drivers World Championship Tech Tip. So it's a quick, short video where Norman takes you through the main rules and how the competition will work. And then for the detail, go onto Shell.com. If you are from Asia or Americas and you have specific rules or questions about logistics and how to come and what to attend, there is a Facebook group dedicated to the DWC team. Sarah manages that really well. And if you have any questions, you can send them, or you can send her the questions via email. We've shared that email before, but it's the shell-eco.marathon. A bit of a mouthful, but shell-eco.marathon@shell.com. You can also share your question on the Facebook group, Asia or the DWC Facebook group. We're happy to have you here today. Thanks for submitting your questions. We'll share this link on the Facebook group. So again, if you have any questions, send them over. Good luck to everybody. Safe travels. Be keen on your preparations, and we'll see you all in London. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.